Hey, what is up, everyone? Good morning. I think my camera's all fixed, so I should be able to actually see me today. So that's starting off on a better foot than yesterday for sure. Morning, Johnny. And please say what's up as you're coming in. Hey, Seymour. All right, guys. Well, the structure for the day so far, trading range. As you can see, no large patterns that are going only down or only up. We had this move down, but then since then we are back and forth above and below the EMA. So when you see that, that tells you that there's some sort of trading range happening. Good morning, Steve. So let's definitely identify this move down here. That was pretty obvious. And it did get a new low too. Had this break. That is the new low of that downtrend. And then it looks kind of like we've just settled into a trading range, really. You can see those lows are pretty equal. The highs are pretty equal. Oops. So yeah, pretty much looks like we've settled into a trading range here. And we still want to mark the channels even in the range. That's still going to give us some information. So we had this move up that already has a break and new high. This move down that had a break, tried to push to a low, new low, didn't quite get there, hit the bottom of the range. This one's kind of hard to draw. That doesn't really look right, but something along those lines. Had a break, and you'll often see this in a trading range where you're expecting a new extreme, but if it comes to the top of the range, that's going to win out. So that is pretty much what we got going on so far. Don't want to take anything here in the middle. Want to let this all kind of settle down. The best trades are selling here at the top and buying here at the bottom. So looks like we might hit the bottom next. I really hope so, because so far this is a very healthy trading range coming from the bottom all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. That's what you want to see in a trading range for sure. So if we can get down here to the bottom, test this level, we're going to see a nice buying opportunity. Also have a little surprise for everyone. Do your bars look different? Yeah, I mean, all bars are, you know, if we're trading tick charts, they're gonna look a bit different. I did clear my cache this morning, and I reloaded historical data. I'm gonna do that again, just to be sure. But Steve, if you're not clearing your cache, I usually clear it every day. If you don't clear it frequently, it can certainly mess up your bars. Yeah, so I reloaded my data again, no changes. So anyway, guys, I have a little surprise. You probably have all heard me referencing the Nasdaq as I'm looking at different things, trying to judge whether a move is legit or not. Well, I've been watching the Nasdaq more frequently lately, and also been trying to trade it kind of at the same time that I'm trading the ES. So and that's been good. I used to only trade the Nasdaq, so I'm trying to see if I could do both at the same time. So actually today we're going to start taking a look at the Nasdaq and trying to trade it as well. I am going to do micros, so I'm not going to do the mini contracts. I think that's a little too over leveraged for this challenge account over yonder. Yeah, want to make sure we're not going to hit the drawdown on that, and I have to trade 4 contracts so that I can have a runner. But anyway, we're going to trade some micros. We're going to throw that into the mix, so should be fun. And pretty much a similar pattern on the NAS today. Had this move down. And then pretty much settling into a range. Same kind of deal here. So when the indexes are aligned like this, that is a good sign. I do not, Steve, but here in a sec, I'll post in the chat how to do that. Hey, Pete. Yeah, I know that you've been requesting that, so finally. We'll trade both, right? So we'll flip back and forth. But yeah, add Nasdaq to the mix. Yeah, so really like same kind of deal here, guys. Pretty much the same chart. That's a good question. How many micros would stay similar? More than I'm just gonna do 4. I'm gonna incorporate this slowly. I don't want to just kind of swing for the fences here. So it's gonna be much smaller positions than my ES trades. So just a little kind of added bonus, and we'll work it up. We'll get to where we're trading bigger size, but I would say probably, let's think. You would have to get probably into like one mini contract to be similar to the ES trades. So that'd be like 10 micros, and I don't want to trade 10 micros. That's a lot of commissions. So we're just going to keep it at 4 micros. Same number of contracts that we're doing on the ES. Both tickers headed down towards the bottom of the range. And yeah, if you're liking that new edition, kind of mixing it up a little bit, trading some more stuff, definitely throw a like or leave some feedback. You know, if everyone's like, no, please don't do that, I'll cut it out. But yeah, definitely let me know. Johnny, oh wait, actually here, let me reply to Steve because he's wondering how to clear the catch. I should do a video on that though. Hey, good morning, Shayak. All right, Steve, there's the instructions on how to clear the cache on NinjaTrader. All right, so Johnny, what do you think about what do I think about rather than about not trading runners on range days? I think it's leaving money on the table. That's a good question. That's a good question. I think it makes a lot of sense. Good morning, Yulian. I think it makes a lot of sense to not have runners on range days. Just because it's choppy and it will likely get stopped out. But I think I generally, my philosophy is just to always have them because you never know. So, you know, let's say you get a buy down here at the bottom of the range and you scalp out at like whatever, 2 points, 1.5, 2 points, that's right there. Well, you still have all this room to the top of the range that prices will likely go to. So that's nearly 10 points that would be left on the table, and that's a pretty probable move. Because as you can see, you know, in a range, you're expecting prices to go from one extreme to another. So I think if you have room like that, it'd be wise to trade a runner. Now, if you're like going long up here somewhere and just trying to scalp out before the top of the range, maybe you don't leave a runner. But then again, at some point it's going to break the range and could take off. So I don't know. I just like always having them because you never know. ¿Qué pasa, muchachos? ¿Cómo estás, Gary? Shayak, am I expecting it to move up today? I have no idea, to be honest with you. Do not know. Here's the 10K. I mean, on a larger time frame, you know, it's been up, right? We know that. Had a major breakout on a daily level. So yeah, I don't expect like some massive selling. I think we are kind of settling into a bullish market pending any crazy news, I think. So yeah, I mean, I think generally I would expect us to keep floating higher, but you never know. I'm just kind of taking one day at a time. So no use in trying to predict the future right now. But so, you know, I'll say judging from the price action today, I think we probably will kind of drift up because this is a pretty good move down here and nothing's really come of it. We've just been kind of chopping around in a range, maybe forming a base that we can then go up from, but I don't know. Ultimately, I don't know. We'll find out. So from this down, we try to predict the future 15 seconds at a time. Exactly. All I really care about is what's going to happen immediately next. So we got this down move, break, new low. Hopefully we can make it all the way to the bottom of the range here. Same deal on the Nasdaq. Break here. New low. Kind of looks like we're bouncing here, but we'll see. No trading opportunities on either of those yet. Shayak thinks it's going to go to 43.83. I don't know why 43.83. I'm looking back on the charts to see if there's anything here. Yeah, kind of this level down here, the swing low. Likely, we're very close to it. There was support kind of across there, so that would make sense for it to go there. There was a nice higher low, 621 Eastern. Didn't really get it on my chart. But that was a good context for a nice higher low or lower high. Yeah, this is where it would have been. So if you had a nice bar right there, yeah, for sure. Coming off the top, just had to break a new high, lower high towards the bottom of the range. All right, we got 7 minutes to open. Again, really want to see prices get down to the bottom of the range so we can set up a buying opportunity. If we bounce up here, that will be no bueno. Really want to confirm this range, keep this range nice and healthy. Good morning, Randwolf. My bars don't look anything like yours. Bummer. I cleared my cache last night. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Johnny's look exact. Okay, whew. As long as Johnny's look exactly like mine, we're good to go. And Collins looked like mine until you refresh. Now they're different. Well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with them because I did clear my cache last night. before I went to bed, refreshed the data a couple times this morning. So yeah, I mean, tick charts are always going to look a little bit different. Depends on which data feed you're getting them from, etc. Adolfo, bienvenidos, welcome. Gary, I mean, I believe that my bars are different for sure, but there's nothing else I can really do on my end, I don't think, so we're just gonna trade them. And hopefully he'll get us some good setups. Toad, welcome, good morning. Yeah, you know, Adolfo, I already reloaded a couple times, but I'm gonna try one last time. This is my last reload. Yeah, so it still looks about the same. I reloaded the Nasdaq as well. It looks the same. So I'm just gonna go with it. If your bars are a little different, that's okay. If the setup doesn't, you know, I would trust your own bars as long as your cache is cleared. If your data is reloaded, you're good to go. Trust your own bars. And if the setup does not appear on your chart, then don't take it. And if it does, and it's not on my chart, then take it. It could be, Adolfo. It could be an issue with your data, or, I mean, tick charts can just be different. So they might just be different. Yo, Matthew, what's good? All right, guys. 2 minutes till the open here. Let's celebrate the differences, Toad. That's why we have you in here. That's exactly why we have you in here. Yeah, Gary, that's what I've heard, is that he's going to speak again today. I don't know if it's officially on the calendar. Yeah, it is. Yep. Matthew, appreciate the feedback. Seriously, thank you. Thank you. Okay, here's where we're finally starting to get a little bit of a divergence. The Nasdaq already going below the range here. Might get a nice little failed breakout. The bar's not good though. Yeah, if that was a green bar, I might have considered taking that. Thank you, Adolfo. I really appreciate all y'all joining me, for real. It's a lot more fun to trade the morning with others, so. And you guys are a good community. I appreciate like the good trading call outs. There's no trolls in here. And we haven't even really had many trolls come in, so I'm sure that might happen eventually, but so far so good. And I think the the culture will prevail. The culture of positivity will prevail. Man, bars are moving fast this morning. Look at this. This would have been a decent higher low here on the Nasdaq. So it's already moving higher, and ES kind of just pausing right here. There we go. Come on, baby. Move down to the bottom of the range. Same P. As far as like profit target, I'm doing the same. So, always around like 70% of ATR exactly. So you can see the ATR up here. Right now it's 45. I'm gonna go for it. Rough estimate is like 10 ticks lower than whatever the ATR is. So I'm gonna go for 35. And the ATR on ES is 9 ticks. I'm gonna go for 8. That's usually about what it is for me, like 1 tick lower on 1 or 2 ticks lower on the ES, and then about 10 ticks lower on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq having a clear uptrend here off of the bottom of the range. And ES just not doing anything. It's going Inception style, range within a range. Can we break below or above this little range? I don't want to trade this guy here. We still have room to go before the bottom of the range, so I don't want to take a buy right here, even if we get a nice bullish candle. Nasdaq is pulling back a little bit. Might get a buying opportunity. We have already our first entry. That'd be our second entry, but not touching the EMA. Yeah, I think micros are wise on the Nasdaq. It is pretty leveraged, so as you can see, I'm also just doing micros. we'll get there. Maybe if we can get this challenge passed and get it to funded stage, start building it up, we can transition to full mini contracts on the Nasdaq as well. So we do have a little break right here, mini break and new high right around the top of the range. Tick charts do look different from micros to minis, yeah. Slightly, I mean, it's the same kind of like minor differences, because ultimately this is pretty much the same instrument, right? It's just, yeah, there's going to be slight differences, but nothing major. Today, Toad, today, yeah. Not switching back. I'm going back and forth, right? So here's the ES, here's the Nasdaq, ES. So yeah, it's been, I'm sure you've all have heard me in the past couple of weeks talking about the Nasdaq more. I really do think it's helpful to reference when you're trying to judge price movements and things on the ES, because they're made up of the same major stocks, right? So yeah, always helpful to reference. And then I've been trying to trade it on the side, or at the same time rather. I used to only trade the Nasdaq, so yeah, trying to incorporate it a little bit, and it's been going well. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna share it with everyone else. Yeah, because I've been taking trade, like while I'm streaming, even taking trades on the side, but wanted to test it out, see if I could do both. Anyway, 1500, it just looks the best. 2000, I don't know, kind of has a lot more bars today. No, it's about the same number of bars. Just trying to get it to match up to like visually how many bars the 2000 tick looks. We can take a look at the 2000, see if it's any better. Oh, here, I'm on the wrong chart. Actually 2000 is pretty dang close today. I might stick there. Yeah, I think we're gonna stick on the 2000 tick chart. I even updated the info on the stream to reflect that I'm doing 2000 tick chart on both now. So there you go. I'm on top of it today. All right, so Nasdaq coming off the top of the range here. Seeing if we can get a failed second entry long. That would be a pullback. First entry, there it is. Maybe one more pullback below the EMA and a second entry that fails, and we can ride to the bottom of the range. So that's what I'm looking for on the Nasdaq. On the ES, we are just now getting to the bottom of the range. This could set up a good buying opportunity, but that divergence has me a little bit unsure, because one's at the top of the range, one's at the bottom, so it could kind of go either way. That was a pretty volatile candle. We might be gearing up for Powell's comments here. That's happening in 20 minutes. This is looking sketchy, guys. This is looking super sketchy. Over on the Nasdaq, might widen this channel a bit. We're pushing above the range. This has looked fairly strong. I guess it doesn't matter. Either way, we have a break and a new high. No way to trade this. The second entry long was just barely touching the EMA, pretty high up there. So we got to kind of leave that one alone, and still expecting it to go down. We are clearly in a range, right? Coming off the bottom, both the bottom and the top were tested nicely. Now we're here at the top. We have a break and new high, expecting a move down to the bottom at this point. So I'll still, if a failed second entry long forms on the Nasdaq, I will take that. Over on the ES, this is looking a lot more untradeable. Like, what the heck is this? What is this action in here? I do not even know. Pretty wild bars. Yeah, Gary, I think that's a pretty wise move to kind of relax a little bit until the news comes out. Obviously, market is waiting for it. And I would imagine these volatile bars are because of that. NQ's got a break and new high of that channel for sure. Looking quite bullish. And if we get any higher, we would stop expecting that failed breakout. Let's mark that high too. Overnight high is right around here. If we get above that, we are really into bull territory. And let's see what that looks like if we really widen this thing. That could be. That could be. We will keep that channel in mind. I think the Nasdaq's a little bit more interesting right now as far as possibilities. Good idea, Gary. Enjoy. Back on the ES, getting more of a move up here, starting to follow suit. Could have a little bit wider channel. Hey, good morning, Black and Ease. All right, NQ actually coming up to the overnight high. What do I think about the channel stretching over 2 days on the 10K? Let's check it out. It's a possibility for sure. There's a lot of blank space down here though. We'll see. No, different one. A little less. The only thing we'd be able to do is like this. And in that case, we already have a break, a new low. Oh, the bottoms connect, I see. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility for sure. It's nothing I'm gonna really base any trade decisions off of, but that looks pretty nice. So we might get a bounce here according to that. We do have a little break of this up channel here. See if we can come up and get a new high right at the range highs. That would give us an excellent selling opportunity, except we got news, or yeah, I guess news, but Powell testifying here in 10 minutes. Nasdaq just continuing to run. I think we are going to get that wider channel going. Might get a nice buying opportunity there. We are now above the overnight high. This channel getting some nice confirmation on both sides. If we can get a pullback and a second entry long right here, I like that trade. Back on the ES. Looking for a short at the range highs here. Right around here would be great. Yeah, the indexes are very divergent today. So that should, when that's the case, it usually is a sign to be a little bit more cautious. You want to see those in pretty much lockstep. Then you're going to get a lot more confirmation. If they're like this, they're kind of pulling at each other, right? Because that means that all the top tech stocks are doing really well. And then over here, the rest of the market, all the other symbols are just kind of dragging it down. So two kind of opposing forces, right? Tech leading, all the major companies leading, and then the smaller ones kind of dragging behind, to oversimplify it. So when you're having those two opposing forces, you just got to watch out. You want to see everything in unison, right? So looking for a second entry long on the Nasdaq, looking for a short on ES. So if that's not a bad sign, I don't know what is. Oh, Shayak, gotta be careful of those counter trend trades. I don't know why you would short the Nasdaq, which is looking incredibly strong. Look at that move up. You don't want to fight that. You don't want to step in front of that train. That thing wants to go up, man. Don't short that. We have our first entry on the Nasdaq. As you can see, pullback, first entry here. We want another pullback, second entry, and then we will take a long, except we have about 9 minutes to news. I don't think Powell's going to be speaking right away. So we might have a chance for a trade really briefly. We do have a down channel there. It looks like we're already going to get our second entry. Yeah, there's our second entry, so we will have to wait for a double trap to form. And look at ES. It's actually breaking above here. I might even widen this channel. That looks pretty dang decent. So we'll see if this can if the top of the range can hold. So again, we already have our second entry, I believe, on the Nasdaq, but nowhere near the EMA. Kind of up here in no man's land. If we can get a push down here and kind of like a visual second entry, I'd be willing to take that. But we already moved to a new high, respecting this trend line wonderfully, so that is great. Don't want to see us to push up even more up in here to confirm that channel, and then we can look for a second entry again. Back on the ES, I'm kind of looking for a second entry long at this point now. With how bullish the NAS is, this is a nice little move up as well. So far, the top of the range holding. Hey, Greg, good morning. Yeah, I reloaded everything as well, so that's all right. Sometimes charts are going to be different. Just trust the chart in front of you, especially if you know that you've already reset everything. The main thing is the context, right? Like that's really, you might have different signal bars and things like that, but we want to get the context right first and foremost, and that's going to be the same no matter how your chart looks. The context is not going to change. Continuing to respect that channel, that is awesome. And definitely looking for a second entry long now. So, all right, the indices are a little bit more in sync at this point. Over on the Nas, same story. We're making new highs. Just waiting for a pullback and a second entry at the key entry point. Want to see us get down to the EMA, or see the EMA catch up to prices, rather. However you want to look at it. Beautiful move though. Loving this move on both the indices. Now it could get smacked down here when Powell starts talking. That's the only problem. The smackdown, baby. Want to see where we're at on ES as far as the overnight high. It's right here. So that would be the next level to watch. Shayak, I hope you're not still holding this thing. I don't want, this is not financial advice or anything, but yeah, I know sometimes when I get those things wrong, it's tempting to like hold on for dear life and hope that it goes down later, or God forbid average down. So hope you cut that trade. In a very non-financial advice way. My NAS channel's looking a little off. Let's see if I can fix that a bit. There we go. That's pretty nice. We were pretty much just going up in a straight 45-degree angle. This is for sure a strong trend. We will see. We got the news here. Powell going to be speaking. Well, I don't know if he's speaking in a minute, but it starts in a minute. I think this might fit better if we start it right around here, maybe. A little bit. Looks a little better. Kind of a spike in a channel. Either way is probably going to get you to the same spot. Oh, sorry, I'm on ES here. I adjusted this channel just a little bit to incorporate all this action, and it's confirmed off the highs as well, so I think I'm going to keep that. Man, this is really a great spot for a second entry long on both indices, but I just don't think I can. I don't think I can do this right on the news with the potential of a massive bar. All right, we have our first entry long here on ES. As you can see from the top, pullback, first entry, pullback. This could be our second entry right here, but we are not yet at the EMA in the middle of news. This could be our second entry here. Both the ES and the Nasdaq breaking their channels. So now we are expecting break. We are expecting a new high to be formed here, as well as here. Just looking for a good entry. I might risk these entries during the news. If they set up really nice. This will be our second entry, I think, on ES, but this is not looking great. This kind of looks like one move down. I think we still might be in our correction channel here. I think we'll have to wait on a higher low there. Over on the Nasdaq, we have our first entry pullback here. First entry, looking for one more pullback and a second entry. And this does look more like, oops, more like it has already, what on earth? Get out of here. Looks like it has already cleared its short-term down channel. Okay, we got our second entry long here. Let's wait for a higher low. And it might just go straight to a new high. Same on the Nas. This first entry looks like it might just go right to a new high. So offering us no chance for entry here. Strong push down here on both indices. Could get that higher low on the ES. The Nasdaq had a chance, but it closed below the EMA here. So I can't take that. It wasn't even a higher low. It actually popped lower. Well, that is the second entry. We'll see if we can get a higher low on that. So on both indices, we are waiting for a higher low, confirmation of the second entry long. This higher low was bearish, could not take that, wasn't touching the EMA either, so got to hold off there. Okay, this would be the second entry short here. So if we get a tick lower, then it reverses. That would be a failed second entry short, and then also a higher low confirming the second entry long. 2 high probability setups in one. That will get me to enter a position. We got our tick below. So I'm ready for this. Oops, sorry. No mic there. I was saying that the range could win out here, but if this bar closes above the EMA, I still think it's good. But yeah, no dice. Close below the EMA. We got to hold off. Looks like we might come down into the range at this point. On the Nasdaq, the second entry, well, I guess the second entry long already happened. And we didn't get this higher low confirmation below the EMA, can't take it. So same deal on both tickers. But this is a very visual 2 legs back, right? So that bearish correction is likely done. If we can come up here and get a higher low above the EMA, that would be wonderful. Same deal on the Nasdaq. We have nice 2 legs back. If we can get a nice higher low here, that would be wonderful. But we might just launch to a new high on both of them. Man, looks like we're going to go to a new high here with no setup. Shame. Shame. The context was perfect. Context was perfect on both indices. You had a great move up. Break of the channel, expecting a new high. There it is. Beautiful 2 legs back of correction. Man, that is like perfect price action right there. Same on the Nasdaq, super strong trend. We know we want to get long. Definitely not considering a short at all in here. Get a break. This is the perfect time to draw in some bears who are trying to pick a top, and then you get 2 legs back of correction. Boom. Boom. And then we are off to the races. We did not have a good entry there, but that is exactly what we were expecting to happen. So wonderful. That's, man, I love that. I love that. That's why you learn price action. Helps you see what's going on in the market. You don't get fooled by that kind of stuff. You know where prices are likely to go. And then when they do it, it's just wonderful. Time for some correction? I don't know, to be honest. That was a really strong bullish move. We might, I mean, we'll have a little bit of correction, right? Like, we have a break, a new high of those channels, so I'm sure we'll pull back a little bit. But I don't think we're going to have a reversal necessarily. We could still keep grinding up all day. We're above the overnight low on the ES here, or sorry, the overnight high. So if that holds especially, we could see some movement continue upwards. So hopefully it's a little consolation, even though we didn't get a setup. It is hopefully a little consolation that price action works. And if you are getting any value out of this stream, please like it. Only about half of the people in here have liked this stream so far. Which is fine. If that reflects the truth, then that's okay. I'm okay with that. Let's check out and see if there's any way that we can get a wider channel. I think it might have an overshoot. And that's a possibility. But we're just gonna, I mean, definitely not a time to buy. We want to see some sort of correction. I'm gonna see if there's anything like that on the Nasdaq. That actually looks pretty dang good on the Nasdaq. We might overshoot it though. Measured move at 44.19. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we're right at that measured move. Same on the Nas. Pretty close, rather. And it looks like both of these even wider channels have overshot. So this is definitely overbought territory. Where's Gary? We got a measured move and overshoot. Where's Gary when you need him? Gary, are you short right now? Seems like a decent top to pick. Measured move, overshoot, little bearish bar. Not financial advice. Definitely not a trade I'd recommend, but hey, if you're into that thing. And it's the second entry short. Oh my gosh. All right, so both the Nasdaq and the ES, this is looking like an overshoot. Turning down sharply here. Same on the Nas. Acting like an overshoot from the top here. So we got to be patient here. We've had quite the move up. Possible overshoot, and even if you don't have this wide channel, it's a break a new high. So either way, we're looking for some sort of short. Not a short, rather a correction. We might get a second entry long here, but I'm going to give this a lot of room to correct down. We could come all the way down to the bottom. We could even reverse from here. And just in case you weren't around yesterday, next week I will be out. There will be no live streaming this coming week. I'm going to be out of town, visiting my family, sitting in the woods, as Gary said. I'll be camping. So yeah. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to stream the following week. I don't know. There might be like a day or two where I'll come in. I'm not sure yet. Thank you, TT. I honestly will miss all y'all as well. But I will hopefully be dropping some videos during that time. I have some stuff ready, so yeah, there should be a little bit of content coming out, but I don't think I'm going to live stream. So just stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter if you're not, and I'll give alerts there. I'll also schedule any streams that I do. So make sure you have the bell notifications on for that. And yeah, it's always good to get away from the markets from a little bit. I'll likely still trade anyway, but not when I'm camping. Communing with the trees, yep. Which part of jungle do you do? Go to? Which part of the jungle do I go to? Oof, well. Hopefully we won't be camping in the jungle. But I will be going to a lake though, TT. I'm gonna be going to my hometown in Oregon. So camping over there. Hey Megan, no worries. Been involved in the markets for a number of years, and then trading this strategy, really devoting myself to it the last two. So that is where I'm at. I've had a lot of good mentors. Pete Stolzer's from One Option. Read a lot of Al Brooks, watched his stuff, and then obviously Mac from Price Action Trading. Have all influenced where I'm at now. And yeah, I think because of some, a lot of chart hours, I've been able to have success on this relatively quickly. I think this is one of those strategies, if you're already reading charts, if you already know how the market generally moves and you can read candlesticks and stuff, I don't think it takes too long to learn this strategy. It's pretty straightforward. To truly get it, to be honest, I don't feel like it's still, well, I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Like, I feel like as traders, we're always kind of on that razor's edge between success and failure. So there's always like the temptation just to swing for the fences and YOLO and whatnot. But yeah, I would say like after probably 6 months of solid studying and practice on the strategy, I was like, okay, I think I can do this. Yeah, I'm starting to see some success at it. And again, that's dependent on everyone. Like it depends on how long you've been trading before that, and how much time you're able to really dedicate to it. I'm fortunate enough to be in a situation where I can dedicate quite a bit of time to it. That's not the case with everyone. Yeah, I'm not sure about along here either, Gary, although we do have a nice little second entry. First entry, second entry. This would be like a whatever you call it, a double trap. No, Megan, this is not my full-time job. I do have a job that I'm able to do both, so I'm really thankful for that. But yeah, I plan to go full-time eventually. Like when I'm consistently like doubling my income, my regular like 9-to-5 income with trading, if I'm consistently doing that, that's when I'm gonna be like, all right, there's no need anymore. But not there yet, so we'll get there though. You can even really have a wider correction here. Kind of looks like that. This really all looks like one big move down. And especially coming off the overshoot or the break and new high of that channel, could favor a wider correction here. If we kind of keep this thing tight, looks like we have a new low. So that's a possibility, and we're coming right off the trend line. So yeah, we'll just kind of have to see how the EMA reacts. Over on the Nasdaq, kind of hard to draw a wider correction here. That doesn't really fit. This really does look like we already have our break of the channel and a new low. So maybe bouncing here. Really on both, we just want to see how the EMA is reacting. Because again, coming off an overshoot, this could lead to a market reversal, and we don't want to get caught in that. So got to be very cautious off of that. So yeah, hopefully we can get a failed second entry short. That would give me enough confidence to take a long position, pull back first entry, pull back second entry, failure, trade that to new high. This wider channel is looking pretty nice. We nearly touched it here. I'm going to tighten it up though, because that really does look like that was an overshoot up here. Hopefully we can get that failed second entry short and doesn't move too high on us. Not quite the first entry there. Over on the Nas, it's looking a little bit more congested in here. Higher low at EMA, man. I think I'm gonna wait for a failure personally. I could see why someone would take a higher low at the EMA here. I think I'm gonna wait on a second entry short failure. We already have our first entry short on the Nasdaq here. Not quite the first entry short on the ES, but it looks like we might get it here soon. There's the first entry short on ES. Nice bar on the Nasdaq. Look at that nice bullish bar. We're still above the EMA. We had our first entry short. Pull back. This could be our second entry short failure, so it's looking a little bit more hopeful on the Nasdaq currently. Tempted to do the higher low here on the Nas. Just enter. I might get away from me here. You guys must have a better bar than me. Shoot, and this is gonna get away from me. Oh, you know what? Oh no, that's a technically that was our failed second entry short. If you had a good bar on that higher low, it's not a bad trade. I didn't have a good higher low here, just kind of this meaty big bar with no wick, closing it the same. But if you had a better bar, the Nas might might get that failed second entry short here. It's not quite touching the EMA. What's our risk on this? About 35 ticks. That's a pretty good risk there. But not gonna form right. Just in case it finishes bullish, I think I'm going to take it here. Not the best bar. I'm not gonna take that one. Kind of finished more doji. It will likely work though. Over on the ES, the failed second entry short, floating above the EMA. Yeah, if we can get another chance here, the failed second entry short could for sure work. The Nas looking pretty heavy, looking like it might want to drop. Oh, come on, tick lower. Man. No tick lower here. Need to see this come down and at least touch the EMA. All right, not gonna work. Bummer. Well, I'm glad some of y'all caught that. I wish I had a good bar for the higher low here. Just didn't work out. Failed second entry short on the Nasdaq, forming below the EMA. Can't take that. And then over on the ES, it's looking like it really just wants to drop. I think I'm going to skip this. Starting to get flat. It is a nice looking bar for sure, but I don't really like these failures that are kind of really wide like this. Super wide. I like to see it more vertical. More like that. Those are the failures that I think are the best. Could one consider a potential triple test on the NAS, or are the two of them too close together? I'm not really seeing a triple test. You certainly have some support across here, but yeah, I don't know. You could consider maybe a second entry long if it forms and ends up right around here, but we're below the EMA. That's the other problem. I think we got to let this correct a little bit. Now that is a red bar right there, folks. We'll see what our measured move here is going to be of this correction. We are nearly at it. See if we can bounce right around there. We might just blow past it. Same deal on the NAS. So there's that second entry long that you could potentially play right there. Not the greatest bar, but you do have two measured legs down. There's some support across there. Doesn't even look like it's going to trigger. Yep, that overshoot is certainly affecting the market here. And that's why you always got to be cautious about overshoots, man. They really can pivot the whole day. But we do have two legs of correction. I'm wanting to see a push above the EMA, failed second entry short. Because this is a technical break of our channel, so we still could get a new high. Even with the overshoot, that still could happen. Unless it is proven otherwise. And now it even looks like the downward channel might have a little overshoot. Same deal on the Nasdaq. It could be a wider down channel, obviously, but we'll see what happens here. The Gary School of Overshoot, money in the bank. Yep. My problem with that is that I don't like overshoots. And I'm like really reluctant to accept that that's what's happening too, because I don't like it. So the overshoot strategy is hard for me. Plus it's counter trend. That makes it difficult as well. You have to really be sure that an overshoot's happening, otherwise you're just picking a top. All right, I'm gonna widen this downtrend. All right, so I got a wider downtrend on both the Nasdaq and the ES. We are now back below what used to be our range high on the ES, at least. The next level for the Nasdaq would be this. What do you call it? Overnight high.
I know it sounds silly, dear, but do it for me, please.
So clearly bearish now, right? I think we can all see that. Have established a new channel on both indices. We'll see if we can get a second entry short. Shayak, nice hold. I'm glad you got out on that. Was really rooting for you there. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, let's see if the if prices can get to the EMA here. Give us a second entry short. That's what we'll be looking for with both symbols. Have quite a ways to go though, so in all likelihood we will not make it back there. The NAS already has its first entry. Just kind of stalling out here, not really doing much of anything. Okay, there is our first entry. We are nowhere near the EMA though. And it looks like we might just reach a new low. Nas already reached its new low here. So could get a bounce on the Nasdaq, which is what happening so far. Again, not even close to the EMA. We could get that second entry short all the way up here, but that's a long distance to go. Hopefully this breaks out to the top. Yeah. Again, the Nas already had a break new low, and now we're bouncing. So that has me a little bit concerned about the possibility of a short on ES. This kind of looks like a double bottom down here. So this could certainly act as a new low, and we could just launch out. Breakout pullback, second entry short. Yeah, it's so high up though. These bars are so strong. Now we're closing above the EMA, so I think he really gotta pause on that short. Clear uptrend in play. Want to wait and see this have a break and new high, and then we might consider getting a short if it pushes below the EMA from there. Gonna draw basically the same channel here on the Nas. There's that second entry short. Do you dare? Does anyone dare? Yeah, I also have a break of the channel here. Tiny little break. Could get a move up to the new extreme. The NAS already had a micro break in new extreme as well. So just watching the EMA here, that'll tell the story. If we can slice through it and hold below it, that'll be a good sign. We have 3 micro touches right here. Boom, boom, boom. Equal lows. Yep, I was just about to say, if we break through that, it's going to be a quick little flush, and there you go. We still have the opportunity for a failed second entry long. So from the high, pull back first entry, pull back. We could get a second entry long right here that fails. Take that short. Same on the NAS, although we are moving farther down. I don't know that I mean, we have quite a distance to the EMA, so I don't know that we're going to get it there. If we get that failed second entry long, I might consider it, but otherwise, looks like we're just going to push to a new low. Man, oh man, there we go. Well, the context has been super clear today. Price action really easy to read. We just have not had any clean setups, at least on my chart. I know some of y'all had a good looking higher low right in here. On my chart, the bars just have not cooperated. Context wise though, everything has been really solid, super easy to read. Price action working out beautifully. See if we can get a new low here and then maybe get a bounce. We have equal lows on the Nasdaq. It had this break here, equal low, may push a little bit lower, and then again we could see a bounce. rescuing the 2 coyotes in your yard. You thought trading was dangerous. Alright, y'all. Well, it's going to be a while before there's a setup because, again, we have this move down, break, almost a new low, and then we're going to have to let a bullish correction play out before doing anything else. I kind of got a feeling we might settle into some sort of range right here. Same on the Nasdaq. We have that break and almost new low. Probably will settle into a range if I was going to make a prediction. So yeah, the context again has been super clear today, and surprising that we didn't get any setups on either chart. Trading 2 chart doubled the possibility of setups, but didn't work out today. But I will say that as I have been trading the Nasdaq, and at the same time there has been, if something doesn't set up on one, it usually sets up on the other. So if we keep that up, should have a lot more trades flowing in. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. What's today? Thursday, so tomorrow will be the last stream for a while, as I'm going to be going out of town. So show up tomorrow. Let's make it fun. Let's do it big. Hopefully end green. And yeah, thanks everyone. Take care. Trade safe. See you next time.